And now, live from San Antonio, Mike Taylor.
Yeah. I cannot stand people that bullshit and lie. I bullshit and lie on this show, but you know I'm doing it. I hope you do. Whenever I'm being facetious or I'm embellishing, I hope that Thunderdome understands that a lot of the things we say on this show, we reserve the right to lie about. I'm just goofing. A lot of the things, I've never goofed about like serious personal stories, family stories, this kind of thing. Okay, have I embellished a dude's name? Sure, on occasion, you have to, what was the old thing? Some of these names are fictitional to protect the innocent. No, some of the names I use are fictitional to protect the guilty, because these motherfuckers doing all the stuff that I talk about with my family, like Uncle Lupe and Grandma Becky. Although that really was Uncle Lupe, that really was his name. I didn't make the name up. But you'll hear me reference buddies, like people I grew up with, a lot of the times. The actions are absolutely facts. I might make up the name on occasion. I don't like to do that, but I don't want to get sued, and I don't want to get I don't want to get my ass killed. So on occasion, I have to embellish these stories that we tell in here all the time. They're all true, right? I really did used to go to a chop shop as a kid with my stepdad, and they had a fucking bear in the background. That's true. Now, was it called Torres Paint and Body? Maybe not. But it was a paint and body shop. I just decided to go with Torres. It rhymes with Torres. That doesn't mean it was Flores. Could have been Dorez or Morez or Borez. My point is, people that lie to get clicks, like blatantly lie, make up stuff to get attention, to harbor a narrative, that makes me crazy because it messes up broadcasting. It makes us all look bad. It makes people want to put all media in a giant-ass bubble and hate all of us. And I hate that. And I've spent years defending the media. And that's such a broad term. But now, I don't defend the media hardly at all because half the people that are in the media are full of shit and have an agenda. Our agenda is to be funny, tell stories, bitch about sports, and hopefully make you laugh a little bit or get you through a day. That's our goal. So today, here on People I Want to Punch, presented by the Law Office of Orlando Kell, the official lawyer of Thunderdome, I want to punch the noted comedian Hasan Minhaj. And I got to be honest, when I mentioned him just now to LG, LG has not heard of Hasan Minhaj. As a man of highbrow comedy, I'm surprised you don't know who Hasan Minhaj is. Google his picture. I bet you recognize his face. He's an Indian dude. He's an American Indian, not stands with a fist. I mean, like from India, a real Indian, American. No, dude. LG's brown. He could make that drop.
Navajo.
So no, not that kind either. Anyway, so Hasan Minhaj is a stand-up comic, and he started. I think he did a few bits for Jon Stewart in the latter part of Jon Stewart's run. One of my all-time heroes in comedy, Jon Stewart, who broke my heart and quit the year of the fucking Trump election, which would have been great. But anyway, I think Minhaj did a couple of bits here and there for them as a correspondent. But then when John retired, and who was the South African kid that took over for Jon Stewart? I don't know why his name escapes me. I quit. I never watched The Daily Show after John quit. But Hasan Minhaj was a correspondent on The Daily Show for the last few years. But then he got real big because he was great. He's hilarious and has done his own shows and had his own specials and is really super funny. And a lot of his shtick, a lot of his stories are based around being an American Indian and dealing with racism. He's also Muslim, so he's an Indian and a Muslim. So he would joke about having the double whammy. Turns out...
So my sound effects were accurate.
If you say so. Which one? The la 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 la? I don't think that's India. I think
that's Muslim. It's Islam.
Sometimes. Yeah. Is that where did we get that drop?
I got that from Family Guy, yeah.
Oh, God. Okay. Yeah. Probably a war joke.
No, the joke is if you want, it's called ululating. That sound they make. And
really?
To do it, you take the lyrics to La Bamba and you just never do the Bamba.
La 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 la. With no
now
Bamba.
Speed it up, yeah.
But if you do it in the high voice, it's funnier.
It
makes it hilarious. Okay, isn't that like a celebratory chant? It's kind of like it's an Arabian.
Yeah.
It's like an Arabian.
It's like a grito.
It's like a grito.
Yeah.
We have shot down another plane. We have murdered another innocent family. We have drugged yet more innocent families into the Gaza Strip. That is not to throw anybody particularly under the bus, only terrorists that do these kinds of things and do those chants. Hasan Minhaj has spent his career lying, it turns out. The New Yorker has released, and they published an article where they basically caught this guy red-handed, lying his balls off about when he was in high school and he was dating this white girl. And as soon as her family found out that he was there to take her to prom, when they realized that this brown boy had showed up to take their beloved lily white daughter to the prom, they refused to take pictures of the two of them. That's a story he has told in the past. Turns out it's absolute bullshit. There's another story. He has given stories galore about standing in line at Whataburger or I don't know McDonald's or whatever. And some dude in there was like, why are you in here? Y'all don't eat beef, do you? I thought y'all didn't eat cows, stuff like that. He does a lot of jokes about things that have happened to him as an Indian Muslim American that are absolutely racist. And it turns out most of them were all bullshit. Not even 80% true, 20% meh. Those are the Taylor stories. Only 5% of my stories are fictitious because I want to protect innocent people. They didn't ask me to be doing segments on it. But the actions I've never lied about. This guy has lied about everything. Lied about the actions. And he's a guy that I like. And he's a very liberal dude, of course, because he's on that Daily Show. And so he would go out and do shtick and fuck with Republican voters at, Trump rallies and stuff. And it was hilarious. But you can't do all that and play the highbrow, I know everything liberal, and I'm the smart guy in this country when you're just lying your balls off. So I want to punch the noted comedian Hasan Minhaj, who I will never watch again. I'm canceling him. And so when the New Yorker basically backed his ass into a wall and he had no choice, he went ahead and sat down and participated in this article with them. And he says, every story in my style is built around a seed of truth. Okay. Basically what he's saying is, look, man, yeah, I lied about a few of my stories, but a lot of other American Indian Muslims have had this happen to them. So I'm just trying to share their, get this, dude, get the fuck out. Come on, man. Come on, dude. You ruin what good you're trying to do when you lie like that. Embellishing a story, hey, and of course, a lot of my stories are a lot of the ones I tell are from my childhood. So I can't remember every single, I don't know exactly was it McDonald's or was it Arby's? I don't remember, but we were in somewhere. In 1981, I was in a Kentucky Fried Chicken with my stepdad, Ernest, and we got robbed at gunpoint, and they didn't take Ernest's wallet, because he had spent 12 hours at the chop shop, i.e. body shop, and he was dirty. And I had paint all over his hands from, painting stolen cars to make them look different, rearranging parts. And so you get dirty when you're in the chop shop business. And so we're sitting there in the Kentucky Fried Chicken one night in Corpus Christi, Texas, and two assholes walk in with pantyhose on their face, and they rob the place. They did not take Ernest's wallet. Because the guy walks over to Ernest and goes, you know what, man? You worked for yours. Keep it. Because Ernest was just dirty. So here's what I'd love to know, and I'll never know because Ernest is long dead. Part of me thinks Ernest helped set that up. That's why they didn't take his wallet. It wasn't because the guy felt bad for Ernest. Have you heard this story before? I'm giving the quick version. I think Ernest knew the two guys who robbed the place, went in there to make sure that it was all good and there weren't any cops in there, and gave him some sort of a signal.
He was the lookout. He was casing the joint.
No question. And what better case job than to take your 7-year-old stepson in there with you who's, okay. He looks like a random worker guy.
Or was he just a known badass and they didn't mess with him?
Well, dude, with that guy, I don't know. Anyway, the point, it was a Kentucky Fried Chicken, but I've told...
Did he have badass motherfucker written on his wallet?
My stepdad? Yeah. No, but he had a 45 in his boot and a can of mace in his belt, And
that's about the same thing.
And he had a tattoo of two people 69ing on his arm, and he wore tank tops so you could see it, and he had scars all up and down his left arm where he had gotten shot 3 times in a shooting.
Of course.
So you don't need to have bad motherfucker stitched on your wallet when you have two people tattooed on your right arm, 69ing.
Tattoos?
No, that was my Uncle Loopy.
Oh, okay.
He had the teardrop. I embellish on occasion because it was 45 years ago, or I got to protect people's names. Ernest really was the guy's name. Uncle Lupe really existed. I'm not making that name up, but I've told stories about my buddies. I told a story about my buddy who got run over by the Geo Tracker stealing beer out of the gas station one time, and it was him and his buddy. I lied about his name. I think I said his name was Paul. That was not his name. Because I don't have permission to tell this story. This is very personal. Paul and another of our buddies, they pull up in his girlfriend's pink and blue Geo Tracker. Remember Geo Trackers? And they were made for women because they painted them with hot pink and
it was like the
aqua blue.
Geo Metro of Jeeps, right?
Pretty much.
It was like a shitty Jeep.
Shitty Jeep. So terrible vehicle that had a 5-year shelf life and it was done. They pull up to the store. Paul gets out, runs into the liquor store, and as Paul runs in there, the other buddy who was driving, he makes a quick circle in order to pick Paul up. So Paul goes in there, grabs 2 Sixers, and goes running out the door because he's 16. And as he runs out the door, he runs in front of the Geo Tracker, and the Geo Tracker hits him, and beer just goes everywhere. Ruptured my buddy's spleen. None of that's embellished. The names I made up to protect these kids, this is also 30 some odd years ago. I'm sure that there is a statute of limitations, but... I haven't gotten permission to tell these stories from these individual people. I wouldn't even know how to get a hold of them if I tried to now. Okay. So I lie about the names. I never embellish or lie about the actions of the people. This guy, Minhaj, has absolutely lied his balls off about the actions of him and the people that he claims are so racist everywhere he goes. There is racism in this country. There are people that don't like you for your color or your religion or your sexual orientation or whatever. There are a lot of dumbasses in this world. But it is okay as a brown person, and I'm part brown, and I live with a brown person. It is okay to admit that, I really haven't seen a lot of racism in my life. I'm lucky. Not that it doesn't exist. It is okay to admit that we have made progress since the Civil War. And this guy wants to spread this narrative that everywhere he goes, every day long, every white person he comes in contact is icked out by him because he's Indian. Get the fuck out of here. So punch Hasan Minhaj. I'm highly disappointed in him because I think he's hilarious and I'm a fan. And it's going to be hard to, watch him. If I found out that he robbed a Kentucky Fried Chicken, I would still watch his comedy. If I found out that he had gotten run over by a geo-tracker 30 years ago, stealing beer out of a drugstore, I would still watch him. You can't make stories up, though, when you do our business, because I don't know how you continue. He needs to take a time out. He needs to chill. He needs to come clean. He needs to do what Brian Williams did at NBC that time. Remember Brian Williams, the newsman who lied about being in the helicopter in Afghanistan? So we were hovering over Islamabad as the rain of fire was being shot up from the terrorists below. And it was a harrowing situation, and it turns out Brian Williams was never in a chopper doing that and had to come clean, and they fired his ass. He was the lead anchor on NBC World News. Here's Brian Williams, the 5 o'clock national NBC News, and they got rid of him, and they brought him back like a year later, and now he's on MSNBC, so he still works for the network, but not on the big boy NBC. He works for MSNBC. And he's just as good as he ever was. I'm not saying that Hasan Minhaj should never be able to do comedy again, but you need to come clean and admit, I lied my balls off and I'm sorry. Just say you're sorry, because Americans are a forgiving folk. We'll cancel you, but we'll also forgive you if you come clean and say you're sorry. All right, so that's very unfortunate. I've been a long fan of lots of shows on Comedy Central. Loved The Daily Show all through my teens and 20s and early 30s. Lost track of the show over the years that my boy Jon Stewart quit. But man, I've always liked Hasan Minhaj, and that's highly disappointing. And rather than give me excuses as to why you bullshitted, which he gave the New Yorker a bunch of excuses. Well, a lot of these stories really do happen to people. Yeah, but they didn't happen to you, son. You don't get to make shit up. You want to jump on the Republicans and the far right people who all, they want to act like, well, these are partial truths, but they're still, the point stands. You can't do that. You can't blast them for doing that. Then you go and do it when everything you're saying is a lie. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. Especially when you're doing political comedy the way he has done. All right, that's it. Who are you punching today? Anybody you need to punch, and why?
Yeah, I want to punch my dog groomer.
She looks beautiful. Her beard's getting longer.
Yeah, because she hasn't been groomed. Yeah.
What happened? You took her and what happened?
No. I had to cancel my appointment. I want to punch them for charging me $40 for a cancellation fee and not telling me about it when I called them. I just got a magic charge on my credit card all of a sudden.
Oh no. Well, a couple of questions. I'm just trying to get to the facts. I don't want you to Hasan Minhaj me. When was the appointment? Like, did you cancel the day of?
Yeah, it was yesterday.
Oh, did you call to postpone? Did you call to reschedule?
I called. I did reschedule, but now I'm thinking about canceling.
Yeah,
because
she popped you with that $40.
They snuck a fee they didn't tell me about.
Oh, so you're not pissed that they charged you? You're pissed they didn't tell you it was their
policy.
If
you're gonna charge my card, tell me. Like, there's some people. I just called and said, "Can I reschedule?" And they're like, "Yeah, sure." And I was like, "First available," and they gave me the first available the next week.
Yeah, that's chicken ass, dude.
Yeah, it's bull.
It is bull.
I won't call them out by name because I don't want to hurt business. It's it's whoever's running, the manager there needs to be punched.
Okay, well, maybe.
Or whoever answered the phone needs to be punched.
Yeah, we're not trying to get people fired with this segment we're doing here, especially when we punch local folks. God knows we don't want to hurt people's business unless they deserve it, man. Some people shouldn't be doing what they're doing. Some people should not be having the job that they have. That's okay to say that. But it's a one-time. This is the place you've taken her for a while, right?
The only place I've ever taken her.
And they do a great job, and she's comfortable there. So you're not trying to get them fired, but maybe subliminally this message will get back. Or maybe it's a message to anybody in business. If you have a cancellation policy where you charge folks, that's fine. You're entitled to do that, and the rules are the rules, but you have to let your customers know it. You can't just...
tell me like, hey, by the way, your appointment's today.
Yeah.
It's going to be $40 freaking.
Yeah, you can't ghost charge people fees. I bet these groomers are young. Young people are not. They're just so afraid of confrontation. Here I am I'm going to be that old man. Young folks are extremely afraid to talk to human beings. They need to set up a thing where if they're too scared to tell you, they need to be able to text it to you or DM you. So sorry, but our policy states that a $40 cancellation fee is in effect today since you postponed on the day of the appointment.
Well, also punch their web designer for not allowing me to cancel or reschedule the appointment on their website. They let you book the appointment and throw your credit card down,
right?
But they don't let you change it after you've booked it. You have to call.
Right. Well, that's unfortunate, sir. I'm sorry. Well, it is what it is. So when are you taking her back?
Next Monday.
Okay. She's still cute as ever. I come in here every day and she never gets any ugly.
Well, you also get punched because I forgot I had the appointment. I made it on Tuesday because I thought we were doing 3 cents on Wednesday.
Oh.
So punch you for changing the date.
That's fine.
Yeah, punch you.
You know what? You could have said no. You could have said no, I'm not available. I changed our 3 cents. This is a great way to segue into promoting our 3 cents podcast. I had some stuff come up, and I had the boys reschedule 3 cents for yesterday when we did it yesterday. Thanks to y'all who have watched it. You can go watch it on our YouTube page, mine. You can go watch it on Ernie Zuniga's Facebook page and see.
You can go watch it on the 3 cents YouTube page or the 3 cents Facebook page,
which have now been set up. That's cool. Okay.
Or the 3 cents Spotify, Apple, Amazon.
Thank you.
Google.
So we're all out there now?
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't see. This is why LG punches me all the time because I can't keep up with all of the stuff we're doing. I'm a busy guy. I got 3 podcasts I'm doing. So 3 cents podcast now has all of its own stuff. That's pretty cool. So thanks to those who have watched it since yesterday. I highly appreciate you doing that. Okay, it is the law office of Orlando Kell, a family lawyer for you, and he doesn't hate women. You can hire him if you're a Thunderdomette. But what I love about Orlando is the family law branch of what they do focuses on father's rights, custody, visitation issues, enforcement, modification, enforcement as in child support or visitation. You know, maybe old lady ain't letting you see them kids. You know, maybe you need to modify the decree. Maybe your life has changed, or you've gotten a new job, or you've been fired, or you've switched careers, or you've moved, and you need to get some of that stuff changed. You would think that folks could just get together that used to be married, that have children, and just talk things out. Hey, I just got a new job. I'm going to be working these days now. We need to switch the visitation dates. Fuck you, call your lawyer. You would think that wouldn't happen. You would think that reasonable, mature, adult people who have children together but are no longer together could just work these things out on their own. But it never goes that way, which is why we've got Orlando Kell. If you have issues with your old lady, your ex-old lady, Orlando could step in and help you fix them in a relatively quick manner.
Fix this shit, Rick!
Or in this case, fix this shit, Orlando. It is Orlando Kell. He presents people I want to punch. Royce is in here. Punch Ron DeSantis for wearing highly modified high-heel boots because of his massive inferiority complex.
Dude, it's so obvious.
He should be in the Bagtastic Voyage 2K23. All right, I'll list him. We're making a list here of bags. I'm going to write this down. We've had a lot come in, by the way. So the 2023 Bagtastic Voyage Challenge is around the corner. We're taking recommendations for who should be the D-bag of the year. Ron DeSantis. All right. This doesn't mean that Ron will be nominated. It just means he's being discussed. He's up for Bagtastic. Whoever gets the 32 people that get the most select votes by y'all, or the most picks by y'all, will make up the field later on this year. I can't talk. That's because Lawrence didn't have any coffee today, and we're both tired. All right, that's it. You know, it's funny because DeSantis was on with my boy Bill Maher 2 weeks ago. And Bill was giving him shit about the boots. And he didn't care. He rolled with it. He's like, give a fuck. I like these boots. And I respected Bill for giving him shit, which they do look stupid. I respect Bill for giving Ron DeSantis shit, but I also respect DeSantis for basically saying, give a fuck. These are cool boots. You got any questions about politics? I think it was great. It was great.
Did he ask him if they're
He didn't
inserts? Are they lifting
No,
boots? He didn't ask. He didn't ask the real question.
But he gave him shit about how stupid they look. I think
they look like clown shoes.
The insinuation is that they are absolutely elevated to make him taller. I have done that myself, by the way. Of course, I was.
Well, if you're gonna ask the question, ask the question.
Well, but you have to go back and watch it and see the context of it. It was funny, and DeSantis didn't literally say "fuck off." He just basically like, "These are great boots. I like them." When I was 14 years old, my buddy Rudy and I—that's a real name—we had freshman orientation at Arlington Heights High School in Fort Worth, Texas. And this was like 2 weeks or maybe a week before our freshman year of high school. So we're all nervous, just trying to fit in, trying to be cool at high school. And I took 2 pair of socks, rolled them up in balls, and put them in my Nike Air Jordan sneakers, and then walked around all day like I had high heels on because I had jeans. Right? So you couldn't see my ankles sticking way out of the shoe to make myself an inch or two taller. Now, did I plan to do that all semester? No. I just did it for the one day because I was a dumbass.
It had to have been uncomfortable.
It was uncomfortable, but I felt tall. But it never occurred to me, but hey, they're going to think you shrunk or you're going to do this bit every day. And of course, we only did it the one day and no one even freaking noticed. But I have tried to elevate myself too. But I certainly was not 50 and running for president. I was a 14-year-old dipshit. Tex-Mex Frank, welcome to Tier 1. What does that mean?
That means Frank just became a member.
Aw, dude, you rule, Frank. Thanks, Tex-Mex. He became a member. That's beautiful. Orale. Shout out to Tex-Mex Frank. I just saw Frank the other night. We had a little get-together for my boy Dad at Stoneworks for his birthday. Look at that. Thank you, Tex-Mex Frank. That's kick-ass, dude. Love that hard, bro. $6 a month, man. That's all it costs, and you get all of this. You get all of these free shows we do, and you get all of our members-only content, which you and I are due to produce here pretty soon. All right, so send me names for D-Bags of the Year. And here in about a month, right around the start, maybe 3-4 weeks, right around the beginning of November, we'll unleash the 2023 Bagtastic Voyage Challenge of 2K23. Live Oak Vodka also partially brings this program. These are the boys that I enjoy the most when I drink vodka. And it doesn't hurt that they're distilled right here in my home state of Texas, down at Coastal Bend Distilling in Beeville, just north of Corpus Christi. It is the official vodka of us. It is Live Oak vodka. All right, another quick funny story as it's Troll the Cowboys week. Sorry, I didn't choke to death. I need to get a drink of water. Should be hot coffee, but it's not. I'll just have to get coffee when the show's over at Bolero or something.
Okay, I got to order some.
Didn't I give you $20 last week to order some?
I've been busy.
Okay.
People moving shows around and doing things.
All right, here's
Groomers charging me.
Here is why I decided to move the show around. There are 2 reasons for this. So when we were gonna do it today, right? The show.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everything was planned for today.
I asked the boys to move the show to yesterday, and they accommodated me, and I appreciated that. There's 2 reasons for that. Well, the primary reason is my father, Big Mike, was coming down to San Antonio for a couple of days with my beloved stepmom, and she's coming in town for a convention, right? And my pops was going to come and just chill in the city for a couple of days. And so I was going to go spend the day with my pops. And as it were, my dad decided not to come after all. So I really didn't have to actually move the date. I found out yesterday that he had decided not to come down with her. I was going to just, he and I were just going to hang out downtown all day while he was just killing time while she was in her little meetings and stuff. And my pops wound up not coming, Big Mike. I've not seen Big Mike in several months either. I miss him. I need to go up and see him. Been to Fort Worth twice in the last 3 weeks and didn't see my daddy. I need to go see my pops. But I thought he was coming here, So he didn't come. The other reason is I'm going to go up to Bernie today because Nina's going to do whatever the radio station is up in Bernie, the little local radio station. You should see it. It's really cool. So there is, right there on the main strip of Bernie, there's this really cool place called the Richter Building. It's got several restaurants in there. I think they have like a bakery in there. There's a winery in there, and there's a little radio station in there. It is a beautiful, brand new radio station that they literally just built. The station's been around for a while, but they just built a brand new studio right there on the strip, and it looks really cool. Probably spent more money in the last year on Bernie Radio than iHeart did in 10 years. Just saying. Oh yeah, okay. Here it's I believe it's 103.9 FM. Bernie Radio, 103.9 FM, Radio Bernie. I have no idea how many watts this little station is, how much coverage it gets.
It's an original name, Radio Bernie.
Yeah, Radio Bernie. So Nina's going to be on Radio Bernie today, I think at like 1:30 or 2, to promote the golf tournament that we're having. All right? And a lot of y'all have reached out about the golf tournament. We're hosting a golf tournament at the end of the month. On October the 30th, it is a Monday. It is the third annual Gary Rich Golf Classic benefiting the Kendall County Women's Shelter. You do not have to live in Kendall County to live at the Women's Shelter or use the Women's Shelter for temporary housing if you are a victim of domestic violence. I spent about 3 months in the Nueces County Women's Shelter in Corpus Christi. Right, not long after Ernest set up that robbery, actually, at KFC that time. Things started to go to hell for poor Ernest. They're around 80, 81, 82. And he would come home and take it out on my mama. And she finally got sick of it, and we wound up moving into the Nueces County Women's Shelter and spent a good 90-ish days there. And if it were not for that shelter, I don't have any effing clue what the hell we would have done. He may have wound up killing her. He was a maniac. He needed to be taken off the streets. That was rock bottom, stepdad Ernest. He finally got, I think my step pops finally went to jail for good. I want to say 85, 84, and died in prison about 10 years later. Anyway, he was, the popo was cracking down. He could sense the end times were nigh. His freedom was lucid. That's not his freedom was in absolute dire jeopardy. And he would take it out on my mom. She got sick of it. We lived in the Nueces County Women's Shelter until we were able to finally get my grandma to come down from Fort Worth to rescue our ass and take us back to Fort Worth for good. So I've always had a very warm spot in my heart for women's shelters. And if it weren't for them, I mean, just some of the stories that I could tell from what little I know about these women's shelters and the things that they endure every day trying to help folks that are just in dire straits, or their lives really are in jeopardy because of the maniacs that they've been with. Places like the women's shelter do a hell of a lot of good for not even just women. There are men that go to the women's shelter, there are. There's some big chicks out there that won't beat the shit out of you. I can see imagine LG hooking up with some 6'5" Amazonia. He just gets to whooping on his ass, and he has to go to the women's shelter. Not to make light of it, but it's true. But we're going to play some golf at the end of the month, and we're going to make and everything you pay to play in this golf tournament is going to go straight to the Kendall County Women's Shelter. I'm going to play in it. I've already signed up. I paid to play. I paid $160, I think it was. You can get 4 of you homies together for $650 and make a team, or you can just come play with us. We'll assign you to a team. And my plan right now is I'm going to play at least 2 holes with every Thunderdome team that signs up to play in this tournament. I will meet you at hole whatever you're on, play a couple of holes with you, drink a beer with you, hang out with you, and then we'll go. And I'm going to hop around the course all that day, hanging out with different teams. So that's my plan for that day. I don't know if that makes you want to play any harder because you get to hang out with me, but. Just know that every nickel you put in goes to one of the great causes that at the end of my life, if you say, well, Taylor was a good radio man and a good dad, and that's great. But I'm proud of the work we've done with Salvation Army, and I'm proud of the work we've done. I'm proud of that, and I want to help this women's shelter because I now have an opportunity to do so through my girlfriend who now works for them. Anyway, she's doing a radio spot today, so that's the other reason why I didn't want to do the show today, because I was going to go up there and check out the radio station. That's it. And my dad was coming, too. My pop's supposed to be here. And look, I got us a new member. Oh, we got coffee. The Drew Show just bought us 5 coffees. I forgot about buying me a coffee. We never promote it anymore because we're so trying to get people to become members. We still have the Buy Me a Coffee.
It's still there. It still exists. We have members on there, too.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It's buymeacoffee.com/Mike Taylor Live. I appreciate that. Thank you, Drew. That's really cool of you, dude. So anyway, it is Cowboys Troll Week that continues. So I don't have coffee today, which is why I'm ornery. This is water. Look at the size of this fucking cup from Las Palapas. It's as long as my big ass head. Anyway, I need coffee. Yesterday, though, I needed coffee too. And I was on the road out running errands, and I decided to pop into a Starbucks. Not all Starbucks have codes to the bathroom. This one did.
That's how you know you're in an interesting part of town.
They put, so drug addicts and homeless can't go in there. Crazy people.
Exactly.
Because they don't have drug addicts in Stone Oak, I guess. But you're right.
No,
it is kind of.
But the drug addicts in Stone Oak have access to their own bathrooms and places to do their drugs.
Okay, so you're saying that a Starbucks that has a door code for the bathroom is probably in a hood?
Yeah, or a more urban area.
Yeah, giveaway.
Okay, you're right. It was inner city, and I went in there to get me a quick cup of coffee. I like Starbucks coffee. A lot of y'all bag on Starbucks. The regular coffee's great anyway. I went in there and I had to go. And there's a lock on the door. And I'm like, oh, excuse me, do you guys have a code for the bathroom? You know? She's like, oh, yeah, it's 1996. I go, okay, thanks. And as I'm about to turn around, she goes, it's 1996 because that's the last time the Cowboys won the Super Bowl.
Fix this shit, Rich.
Even the liberal women of Starbucks are trolling your Dallas Cowboys. That's genius. That's great. It's 1996 because that is the last time the Cowboys won the Super Bowl.
I saw a picture. It
So
was
great.
You remember the floppy disks?
Yeah, of course.
Somebody
Absolutely.
had a picture of the floppy disk and the label said Cowboys Super Bowl pictures.
I've seen a few with like Abe Lincoln in the background of the team picture and stuff. It's pretty great. God almighty.
Dak Prescott sucks.
That hurts me. That hurts me. That was a harsh thing to say about him on TV, but you know, he certainly sucked the other night, faux show. So it's the Cowboys, and this is what happens when you're the Cowboys, right? Like, does Derek Carr or David Carr, which fucking Carr brother is the quarterback of the Saints? I can't even remember. It's Derek. Does Derek Carr get thrown under the bus nationally the way Dak Prescott does? Of course he doesn't. They're the same quarterback, talented underachiever, who's a pretty solid guy. When Derek Carr retires, when it's probably pretty soon after his, up and down career with the Raiders and now he's in New Orleans, when he does retire, I bet you Derek Carr's legacy is solid player. Never played on real good teams. Played on mediocre teams with the Raiders and, bounced around with the Saints for a year or two, but the Saints weren't ready to do any real winning. Solid guy. Good dude, too. Leader in the locker room. Played hard. Just couldn't get his teams over the hump, but he was a solid player. Good career. We respect David Carr. Or Derek Carr. When Dak's legacy is going to be massive underachiever. Highly overpaid underachiever. And it shouldn't be that way. And it won't be the legacy with me. It'll be his legacy with a lot of y'all because star on the helmet. If Derek Carr were a Cowboy and had been with the Cowboys all these years, y'all be saying he's an underachieving. People be on there saying Derek Carr sucks on TV. But because he plays for America's team, it's Cowboys Troll Week. All right. Yesterday, we played a soundbite of Micah Parsons, shit-talking Cowboys edge rusher, who did absolutely squat in the San Francisco game. And he decided to basically vow that next time it would be different because he's mad at George Kittle, the stud tight end for the 49ers, who after one of his touchdowns the other night, one of his 3 touchdowns as he abused the Cowboys, Kittle raised up his shirt and he revealed that he was wearing a T-shirt underneath his pads that said, "Fuck Dallas." Stupid, classless, hilarious all at the same time. And hey, man, you scored 3 touchdowns. It is what it is. Had the Cowboys kicked their ass and he didn't score no touchdowns, I bet we would have never known he had that shirt on. But he scored them touchdowns, and so he's throwing that shirt. So fine. So Dak throws Kittle under the bus, and we played, well, not Dak, Parsons. We played Micah, basically saying, okay, whatever, man, I promise it's going to be different next time. I promise. Okay, shut up. Just fucking play football, dude. You got your ass beat. So, of course, Deebo Samuel, the stud wide receiver, hybrid running back for the 49ers, gets asked about this. Oh, what the hell is this podcast he was on? He was on, what was he on? The Deebo podcast. I guess it's a podcast, I believe, on the NFL Network. And we'll just play it here. So this is what Micah said. And so they play it for Deebo on the show he was on. And then the reporter asked Deebo, what do you think about Micah saying that watch out, I promise next time it's going to be different. So here it is, and we'll go overreact to it.
My guy, but I'm going to say this. Laugh now, cry later. We got something for that. Just trust. If we see them again, just trust. And we're going to put it just like that. I ain't going to put too much on it. You're going to make it personal. We can make it personal.
I think, it was already personal before the game started. Now, 42-10, I don't think you want to see us again. It might be a little bit worse.
Deebo.
I don't know what we trust.
Micah, Deebo. I don't know what to say. I'm getting uncomfortable.
I don't know what we trust. We trust, laugh now, cry later. I mean, I don't think you want to see us again.
My guy. But
okay, that's it. So I don't even know what the hell that show was Deebo was on. This is exactly
what was annoying.
What an annoying ass response. Oh, you made me sweat.
Deebo, Micah.
Oh, let me just jump into all the female stereotypes. I said this yesterday. Fuck off, Micah Parsons. It should have been personal anyway. Of course it's personal. You are a threat to them getting back to the NFC Championship game. They are there to stomp your fucking ass. Why aren't you there to stomp their ass? You're too busy trying to get Christian McCaffrey's jersey after the game, I guess. You're too busy trying to get your numbers so you can brag about how awesome you are and let's let everybody compare you to Lawrence Taylor. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. Get the fuck out of here, man. It's my night. You think Lawrence Taylor took it personal? Every damn week. He snapped Joe Theismann's leg and he had bones shattered sticking out of the sock. It was so disturbing, LT's calling guys over, come get him. I just destroyed his career. Lawrence Taylor went out there making it personal every damn week. You think Ray Lewis didn't make it personal every week? And they want to compare this kid to the all-time greats already? That is not fair to him. He's only been in the league a couple of seasons. He has not even been to a conference title game. He is a very good player, Micah Parsons is. Why are you making it personal? You think Dick Butkus, who just died last week, you think Dick Butkus made it personal? Fuck yeah, he did. You have to make it personal. You're playing edge rush in the National Football League. Your job is to destroy the other son of a bitch. It better be personal. Now, as soon as the game is over, it can be unpersonal. You have to be able to compartmentalize those emotions.
You play to win the game.
Deebo, it was personal before the game started. What the hell is he talking about? Of course it's personal. They're the Cowboys. We're the 49ers. We want to beat their ass. They're good. Of course it's personal. Ray Lewis, he made it personal every week. Jeez, you think Reggie White made it personal? Yes. And by the way, can we stop labeling Micah Parsons? Stop trying to compare him to the greatest defenders of all time. Wow, the money's rolling in today. I love y'all so hard. Stop comparing this kid to the greats of all time. He's only in his third season. Let him play the game. Just let it play out. I'm actually defending Micah on this one. But this is it's the Cowboys. If Micah Parsons were a Cleveland Brown, y'all would forget about him. Oh, yeah. Who do they have? Oh, yeah. Arlington's own Myles Garrett, who is at least as good as Micah, if not better than Micah. If Myles Garrett were a Cowboy, y'all be wanting to make statues of him already. Ray Lewis, you think Myles Garrett takes it personal? Fuck yeah, he does. Ray Lewis took it personal. Dick Butkus took it personal. You think Randy White took it personal? Randy White once snatched a motherfucker's helmet off after he tackled him, reached down, rips his helmet off, and threw the helmet 30 yards down the field. The 70s. We used to be
he good? We used to, have you seen Manchester? Oh, my God, Manchester's good.
I want me some glory hole.
It better be personal. There have been so many great linebackers and edge rushers in the NFL. Hell, in just the last 20 years alone. Stop labeling Micah Parsons. And hey, Micah Parsons, why don't you not throw a goose egg onto the stat sheet Monday night against the Chargers? I highly doubt Ray Lewis ever had a goose egg in any game. He took it personal every damn week. Cowboys, they're in trouble. Dak's got confidence problems now. We're waiting on word from Deron. I don't know how bad Deron Bland is. He got hurt and had to leave the game. Jordan Lewis had to leave the game. They're going to be out of secondary in 2 weeks the way this thing's going. TCU's own Kevontae Turpin looks like he may be out for an extended time. C.J. Goodwin, their gunner on punt and kickoff coverage, he's out for the year. Not only did the Cowboys get their ass kicked on the scoreboard, they got physically annihilated from top to bottom. Do you know why? Because the 49ers are good and they're violent and they take that shit personal. You think James Harrison, the 10-year All-Pro, 4 times over, Hall of Fame linebacker for the Pittsburgh Steelers, back when they had Big Ben and were going to the Super Bowl every 3 years, you think Jimmy Harrison took it personal? You bet your ass he did. You better start taking this personal. This isn't just for fun. Well, we have the same agent and we both wear Nike. So that I get that's a thing, but it's football. This ain't basketball. The guys in the NBA, they can go and have JO circles after games because they have the same shoe company or whatever. That's fine. Football is a violent game. You better take it effing personal, like boxers do. And then when boxers talk shit, they try to get in each other's head. And I know it's an individual sport, but the mentality should be the same. You spend 6 months training for a fight. Mario Barrios, the official boxer of Thunderdome, just laid some whoop ass 2 weeks ago up in Vegas on the Canelo undercard. He spent 6 months training himself to hate this son of a bitch he fought. And when the fight was over, just like that, they're hugging and kissing. He's telling the world how much he respects the guy he fought, what a good fighter he is, put up a great fight. It was awesome. But for 6 months, he hated his goddamn guts because he made it personal. It better start being personal right effing now, especially now. And if you are that badass that we all think you are, that you let us all talk about you being, and look at all the guys dropping like flies on defense night right now. Leighton Vander Esch is done, probably at least a month, if not longer. Leighton Vander Esch, Jordan Lewis, Deron Bland, Trayvon Diggs, dropping like flies on defense. If you're that bad mother effer, if you're Ray Lewis, if we're going to do the Lawrence Taylor comparisons, then take your ass out there on Monday night and go get me 3 sacks of Justin Herbert. I don't care if you win. You can't control that. You can control you, and your ass got worked on the other night. Got worked. All right. That's shit. Royce is in here. If this Cowboys D can't get themselves hyped for games, then they won't do any winning. Ravens early 2000s and the Seattle's Legion of Boom were always hyped and made it personal. Yeah, you think Bobby Wagner made it personal? You bet your ass. God. Of course it's personal. You think Beast Mode went out there ready to beast mode every Sunday night? Absolutely he did. God almighty. All right, that's enough of that. All right, show brought to you in part by R&R Auto Glass. They have re-upped. Shout out, congratulations, and thank you. You hear that? How cocky is that? Congratulations to R&R for once again deciding you want to support us. You're making the right decision. Congratulations on that. And congratulations to us. And congratulations to Thunderdome for keeping us on the air with your donations and sponsorships and such, and your memberships and your subscriptions. And R&R Auto Glass yesterday has re-upped. We are back. The longtime official auto glass repair company of Thunderdome is R&R, right there by the airport at 281 in Tacoma. These boys are great. Go on there and mention me. They'll give you a Taylor Especial, i.e. a Taylor hookup. They'll have your glass quick fixed within an hour or two, tops. They got a nice little waiting room. You ain't even got to go anywhere. Last time I went in there as a customer, I thought it might take a while, so I dropped the car off, and I called an Uber. I was just going to go hang out somewhere and, chill at a restaurant or coffee shop or whatever. And I swear to God, I walked into the restaurant, and I had just ordered my stuff, and they're texting me, "Hey, Mike, your car's ready." God dang, man. So I had to get my stuff to go. It was great. They're quick. And it wasn't just because it was me either. That's the way they treat all Thunderdomers. Mention Thunderdome when you get your glass fixed at R&R, right there at 281 in Tacoma. It is rnrautoglass.com or 210-340-2588. 340-2588 or rnrautoglass.com. Okay, a couple of parting shots here today. Boy, I've been rooting for Rangers and Astros in the ALCS because of entertainment purposes, and it looks like we may very well get it. Fingers crossed. Houston's got to do its part now. How about the damn Rangers? The Rangers shit away the division by shitting the bed in Seattle the other night, or a couple weeks ago. The Astros did not exactly earn the division championship. The Rangers kind of gave it to them. And the Rangers were in a real bad way going into the postseason. They weren't playing well. They had to shut down Max Scherzer. They have no idea who the hell is going to step up and be their ace. They don't have one. Their bullpen had gone to hell. They've been erratic. They've got a bullpen by committee scene. They only have 3 starting pitchers, really. I don't know what the hell. Had there been a Game 4 in this series with the Orioles, I'm not sure who Bruce Bochy was going to even start. They only have 3 starters that are really playoff quality. And look what they have done. The Rangers go to Tampa and play a 90-plus win Rays team and just beat their ass 2 days in a row. It wasn't like it was 3-2. It was like 7-2 and 5-0 or something. Then they go up to Baltimore, still on the road. They didn't even come home. They went straight to Baltimore. They hadn't been home till the last 2 nights. They go into Baltimore, who won over 100 games this year. It made Baltimore look like the Royals. They not just beating the Orioles, stomping their ass by multiple runs, taking the home crowds out of the games. Go on there and whip the Orioles 2 nights in a row, finally get back to Texas. And they go out there last night and curb stomp the Orioles' asses again. What was it, 7-1, and sweep the series. So the Rangers are back in the American League Championship Series for the first time since 2011 with sweeps over the Rays and the Orioles. The Astros, meanwhile, they bounced back last night in Game 3 of their series with the Twins and stomped their ass 9-1. Jose Abreu hit 2 big bombs. Yordan Alvarez, he went Air Yordan last night and had another big home run. Yeah. And so it's 2-1 now with another game in Houston tonight. Astros need to take care of business and get this thing over with so the Rangers don't get a whole lot of rest and they'll be able to, reset their lineup and stuff. Of course, Houston got a bye in the first round, so this is the first Astros playoff series of this year. And so the Astros are 1 game away from advancing, and we're going to have an all-Texas ALCS, which is going to be awesome. You think the athletes on the Rangers and the Astros take it personal? You bet your ass they do. Both clubs are on fire, and hopefully the Houston Astros will do their part. All right, show brought to you in part also by San Antonio City Soccer Club. Shout out to a couple of businesses. Kids World Pediatric Dentistry, Methodist Health System, Sunburst Gymnastics. These are the 3 Thunderdome companies that have put their names on soccer fields this year, and I highly appreciate that. We got 1 more to go with the fall leagues getting ready to get up and running out at San Antonio City Soccer Club. They have over 1,500 kids that play in this club. We focus on the north side fields off of Speck Road. This is where they built the new fields by demand, because we're going to have thousands of kids play tournaments and weekly games there. So basically, you put your name on one of these fields, you're going to get thousands and thousands of eyeballs that see your sign. We have our own field, too. Thunderdome Field, presented by Sunburst Gymnastics, is up there. It is the official soccer club of us. If you're interested in signing your kid up, DM me if you want to, or contact them on the sheet there. If you're interested in becoming a sponsor of one of the fields, it's only $1,000 for the whole year. DM me there too, or email me at miketaylorshow@gmail.com. Nick, Micah doesn't have to worry about seeing Kittle again this year, though, because Dallas ain't making the playoffs. I mean, right now, and we still have a world to go in the season. The way the Cowboys are losing personnel, shit, I don't know what the hell their record's going to wind up being. But that being said, Brock Purdy could blow his knee out in Cleveland Sunday. Nick Bosa could rupture an Achilles at any moment. Who the hell knows who's going to get hot? I mean, the Packers could go on a win streak. I mean, who knows? It's the NFL, which is why you can't give up on the season, even though it doesn't look good. Clearly, Dak Prescott is on the 16th hole of his 18-hole career, maybe even the 17th hole, and there's not a damn thing they can do about it. They got to prepare as best they can, coach as well as they can. I don't know, maybe take it personal. Take your ass out there and do your job and earn your paycheck, because there's a lot of football left, and the next one is Monday night against Justin Herbert and the Chargers, and I will have Cowboys Overreact when the game is over, presented by the law office of Orlando Kell. All right, it's People I Want to Punch Thursday, presented by the law office of Orlando Kell.
You mean Wednesday?
Did I say Thursday? Yeah, I meant me. My bad. Joe's in here. Punch the son of a bitch that runs my HOA. We submitted our work request back in July to have some stuff done. It's just now been approved when the weather is shitty and inconsistent enough to make planning difficult. They didn't just now decide to start working on Joe's place. They just now got around to actually approving his work request. So God knows when the actual work will start.
Punch all HOAs. Mine included.
Yeah. I want to punch Cowboys wide receiver CeeDee Lamb. I love CeeDee. He's a damn good player. This wide receivers, and how many years have we bitched about the impact of wide receivers? Oh my God, this is also a running debate. Wide receivers can only have so much impact in a game. And CeeDee is obviously extremely frustrated. He just signed a long-term extension. He's out there trying to ball, and he hasn't done shit in 3 weeks. And it's not really his fault. It's not his fault at all, and he got mad the other night. And that's fine, and I don't blame him. His body language was horseshit. You can't do that, dude. Come on. Be a pro. We all know you're pissed. We all sympathize with you. Dak sucks. It is what it is, but you can't throw a hissy fit on the sideline. But he's a wide receiver, and we know what wide receivers tend to do. So in the locker room the other night, something called Garrett Podell, who covers the Cowboys for CBS Sports, went in there and asked him about his frustration and his body language on the bench there in the game. CeeDee said, quote, "We got to be complete. We can't go out there 1 week and look like a super team, and then the following week we shit the bed." That's a quote. And then when he was asked why, what the Cowboys' offensive identity is this season, CeeDee's response, "I don't know." And that's a massive problem. And that, and I said, I've defended McCarthy. That's the one area where McCarthy's ass is on the line. What is your identity? What the hell is the Texas Coast offense anyway? What a dumbass name. It sure looks dumb now. What are we doing here? It looks to me, and this is why I'll defend McCarthy. McCarthy is having to wing his offense every week because his quarterback's not good enough to run with this whatever they need him to do. McCarthy is limited in his play calls because I don't think he can trust Dak to run half the goddamn playbook. So when they ask CeeDee, what's the offensive identity right now? CeeDee's response, "I don't know." When asked the follow-up question, and if Lamb should show 5 weeks into a 17-game season, or whether or not they asked him, shouldn't you know what the offensive identity is 5 weeks into the season? CeeDee's response, "I guess so. I don't know." Lastly, when Lamb was asked how they find said identity, he answered once again with a dejected frustration, quote, "I don't know. We got to be complete. We can't go out there 1 week and look like a super team, and the following week we shit the bed." Let's clarify something there. On offense, they have not looked like a super team at all this year. It just finally came to a head the other night in San Francisco. They didn't do shit in the Giants game because they didn't have to. The defense spotted them 3 touchdowns in the special teams. The Jets were non-competitive. They didn't have to do anything on offense in the Jets game. The Cardinals game, they were terrible. Awful. The San Francisco game, this offense has not done anything all year long. Carry Von Erich Foot. Punch Mike Taylor. For planning to root for the Astros if they play the Rangers in the ALCS. Don't hop on the bandwagon when the Rangers win it, you turncoat. Go Rangers. God bless Randall Godfrey. Hey, man, here's the thing. If the Rangers go to the World Series, you bet your ass I'm going to root for the Rangers. I support any and all things Texas, Bubba. I'm not anti-Rangers at all. The Astros are my team. When in doubt, I root for the Astros. You know, if TCU played UTSA right now in a playoff, wouldn't that be something? I'd probably root for the Frogs, although I'd be really torn because I love Jeff Traylor. But whoever won, that would be an agonizing game for me to have to sit through TCU, UTSA. That would really suck for me. But whoever won that game, you bet your ass I would root for them in the following round. I grew up a Rangers fan. And it's pro sports, by the way, not high school or college. I did not go to the University of the Houston Astros. I can hop on and hop off that shit all I want. We're talking about pro sports here. All right, that is going to put a wrap on this one. I appreciate Orlando Kill, who presented today's show. I appreciate all of our other supporters, R&R Auto Glass, Live Oak Vodka, San Antonio City Soccer. I support you, DJ LG. Support you hard.
Oh, thank you, man.
If you get a chance, and we got to talk about this tomorrow, go watch the new trailer that just got dropped this morning with the Von Erichs movie. Woo! I have emailed Kevin Von Erich's representative. I am trying to get Kevin Von Erich to come on this show, and I'm going to make every effort to get that happen. We'll do some Von Erichs talk tomorrow. The trailer's out. Go watch the trailer, and we'll talk about the Von Erichs tomorrow on Fart Drop Thursday. Love y'all hard. We'll see you in here mañana. Later.
Come back, you puppy!
This program was made possible by contributions from viewers and listeners like you. Thank you.
This is a Bronx-bound 6 local